All right, so we are in Lima, Peru right now, and we flew into Lima, and our plan was to see Peru and Bolivia and Ecuador. We had about 3.5 months between those three countries. And 2 days after we arrived in Peru, there was some political turmoil. There's a series of events that have culminated in riots and disruption of transportation and all sorts of other political unrest. What happened was the president of Peru tried to dissolve Congress just before Congress was due to oust him, and they ousted him anyway, and he was arrested. His proponents are unhappy with that, as you can imagine, and there's some unrest going on here, and unfortunately some people have died because of that as well, and there's a lot of uncertainty going on right now. So we're stuck in Lima for a little bit longer than we had planned. We don't know how far into Peru we're going to get, and whether or not we're going to make it to Bolivia or not. But we are going to make it to Ecuador, and we know that because that's where our flight leaves from.
So that president's name was Pedro Castillo, and he was replaced by who was his former vice president, Dina Boluarte, and she's the first female president of Peru. You were also doing paperwork for your visa. That was another aspect to this trip. So we got here and you were trying to get your visa for Bolivia in order. That took a while to get paperwork, photographs, all of that stuff. And the day that we went out to the embassy in Lima, you didn't get the visa because we were told that they don't do the visas there anymore.
They did at one point, and that's really frustrating because some websites that I've read, official and otherwise, have stated that that was a place where I could get my visa issued. A lot of the official websites were out of date. Some of the official websites were actually broken. When you went to go click on further information, the official websites were just not working. So, and when we got to the Bolivian consulate, I was politely told that they just weren't issuing visas for at least U.S. citizens anymore. It is what it is. So I was told to go to move on to Cusco or Puno from there. So at this point, we don't know if that's going to happen. You're traveling on your Irish passport this time, so you know, luck of the Irish, you don't need a visa for Bolivia.
That is the beauty of holding two passports or multiple passports. It can just open so many more doors for you.
And you used the right one to enter Peru, and that's the same passport you would use to exit Peru and enter Bolivia. So she doesn't need one. I do this time.
On the Monday, it all kind of came crashing down. You didn't get your visa, and then we were like, well, grand, we'll just go. We'll see what bus we can get out of here tomorrow. And then we found out that the buses, as of that same day, were not running. So we have been in Lima a lot longer than we had originally anticipated, which we're grand with, because we absolutely love it here in Lima. We've been stuffing ourselves silly with fantastic food, because Lima is considered the culinary capital of South America, so we're eating all right.
Wow.
And we've gotten out and about and we've seen quite a few sites. Yeah, we're having a brilliant time in Lima. Absolutely love it here. But yeah, at the same time, we do want to move on. We would like to see more of Peru.
So despite the fact that there's some unrest going on here throughout the whole country of Peru and in Lima, we're certainly seeing that the effects of that here in Lima. This is the capital. Loads of riot police, loads of military, just loads of squares and plazas closed off, including the Plaza de Armas, which is the main plaza in Lima, and we were able to get up close to it. We weren't able to walk through the plaza, but actually having that closed was kind of nice because there was no traffic going around, which made it nice and quiet, and there was, as you can imagine, a distinct lack of people walking around. So
we got like a really unique perspective of the Plaza de Armas, that you wouldn't normally get. So
that's correct.
That's another kind of a little bit of a bonus of all of this.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get into the main cathedral, but it was quite peaceful, just kind of seeing the buildings around the plaza and the architecture, and we were at least able to see the cathedral from the outside. So, like you said, a unique perspective.
Yeah.
We've been out to the Museo Larco, which is a collection of, I think over 50,000 pre-Columbian ceramics, pots and ceramic ware and assorted pottery, and that was quite an interesting museum as well. So
it's a beautiful museum.
Apparently it's one of the only museums in the world where everything that they keep in storage in the back, kind of, what would you call that?
Storage?
Reserves. Where stuff is just kind of all the pieces.
Rejects.
No.
The stuff that's not good enough to go on display. No, it's the storage area.
Yeah, all the pieces associated with the Museo Larco are where all that stuff is kept. Visitors have access to that. So
open to the public. It's one of the few museums in the world that actually grants access to the public into the storage area.
You've said that so much more eloquently than I did. Thank you.
So another pretty cool thing that we got to see was El Circuito Mágico del Agua, which is it's this park that has about 12 not waterfalls. I keep wanting to call them waterfalls. They're fountains. They're actually fountains. It's got about 12 fountains in it, and at night from Wednesday through Sunday, they have like light shows within the fountains, and it's all set to music, and they have like projected images and the history of Lima and Peru projected onto these fountains. It's pretty impressive. And then of course this time of year it's also set up for like Santi's cabin, and there's elves and stuff. But yeah, and actually that's one more thing, just talking about the Circuito Mágico del Agua. That's another thing that I've just been absolutely astounded by with Lima. There are so many parks and green spaces. It's just gorgeous. It's amazing what they have done. The city is just full of parks and green spaces. It's gorgeous. And
plazas, yeah. There's a lot of places to gather and just sit down and get a little respite from the city around you. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
quite a few.
Beautiful and beautifully kept, and just nice for to have these places that people can get together, friends, families. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, pleasant surprise. Just walking around, we just stumble across parks everywhere. It seems like every corner we go around.
They really are everywhere.
Yeah. Like Fiona said, plenty of good food. Yeah, we still consider ourselves lucky despite what's going on here. We understand that, as tourists, what is going on here means a lot more than us being stuck in Lima and not being able to get out of Lima on a bus. But we feel safe. We feel fortunate to have 3 months behind us. To get through
in
front of us, yeah, to get through the rest of Peru, possibly Bolivia and Ecuador, and
we're flexible. If it doesn't work out, if we have to flip flop plans, we don't really have that many plans to begin with now, to be honest with you. But if we do have to change things, we are lucky that we can do that. So we're just taking it day by day. We're just seeing what's happening. For the last 4 days, we've just been trotting up and down to the bus station in the morning just to see our buses going out. So
keep our fingers crossed that the country can get back on the move again, because we're coming up on Christmas. This is like December 16th right now. So so we're gonna just keep our fingers crossed. Like I said, we're gonna hope that whatever situations are brewing here gets sorted out for everybody in Peru, and it's just some kind of peaceful means to an end is in sight here for everyone. So that's it.
But in the meantime, we're absolutely loving Lima.
We are. So yeah, there's plenty here to keep us occupied. So even if we're stuck here for another week or beyond, there's so many things that we have yet to see in the city, and the food's really good. I think we mentioned that 3 times.
And the people are lovely. People have been really sweet, really friendly. So yeah, Lima has been a winner for us.
So we don't know if we're going to be able to show you all the videos that we would have liked to have produced here while in Peru and Bolivia and Ecuador. There's just a lot of uncertainty in how far we're going to get into Peru at this moment, but like I said, fingers crossed, we can start ticking off some of the things that we had on our list, and we can start showing you some of Peru.
Yep.